Certified Home presents to you Sukari Heights, developed by Certified Homes, is magnificently designed, luxurious and executive residence offering world-class lifestyle. Starting from Kenya shillings 2.7 million, Sukari Heights is located in the most exclusive Kahawa Sukari neighborhood, just 15 minutes drive from Nairobi CBD and 20 minutes drive to JKIA. The location of these homes avails a short commute to work using an easy transport network, a large choice of dining and entertainment options. Designed to be the finest expression of world-class finishes, Sukari Heights is a rare opportunity to reside in one of the most exclusive addresses in Nairobi. As a resident, you will have access to lifestyle amenities including shopping center, gym, spa, eateries, and basement parking, suitable for family living as well as investment. As an investor, you will enjoy good returns on investment owning to recurring rental income, property appreciation leading to higher resale value. For further information, call 0711 128 128. You can also catch us at www.certifiedhomes.co.ke.
Hello, hey. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this live broadcast. Hold on a second. I try to turn on the notifications and then. Super. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this live broadcast. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this live broadcast. This is Benjamin, the Bold and Raw Talk Shows live stream on Facebook, wherever you are, ladies and gentlemen. I want to welcome you together with my guest today. I hope you are doing fine wherever you are. So first of all, you can share this video. I don't know if Maurice, you can be able to share. Not necessary.
What would you like me to share? I'm just glad to be here, man.
Okay, good. Let me share from my side, and then we'll begin the talk. Are you okay?
I'm good, man. I'm good.
Good. Okay, let me share for 1 minute, and then we begin.
Right.
I can't see the comments. I hope people are watching and they can hear us.
I hope they can hear us as well.
I can hear you from here, so let me confirm from the comments. Anyone who can hear us, anyone who can see and hear us, I would like to see in the comment section, and then we begin the talk.
Super duper. All chilled out and everything.
Yeah, good. So welcome, Maurice.
Asante sana.
Yeah, I can see somebody's typing here. Nina Oirere is watching from Canada.
Ah, fantastic. Hey, Nina.
Yeah. Marcy's tagging her friend. Thank you so much. You can tag your friends as you share the video, and then you begin.
Oh, yeah, tag.
Yes.
Good. Tagging.
Maureen J. Maureen is saying hey to you, Maurice.
Hey. How you doing, Maureen?
Thank you, Maureen, for joining this broadcast. Let's see who else is here. Keep on sharing the video, friends and family members. Let's see who else is here to share the video. Emily John says she can see us. That's good.
That's good. That's always a good thing.
Yeah. Let's wait for 10 more people.
10 more guys, huh?
10 more guys. I need about 10 more men. 10 more men, not ladies. So if you're a lady, tag all the men that you know. on the comment section, and then
Yes.
we begin.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, we need the men. We need the men here.
We need the men here to listen to this talk today. Jenny Mamake, hello,
Yes.
watching from Vika. Judy says hi to you. Hey, Judy there. Thank you so much for joining this broadcast. All right, so let's just keep going as they are coming in. Maurice, just please kindly introduce yourself.
My name is Maurice Matheka. I'm a trained sexologist. My main title is sex therapist, and I'm basically just here to banter with my good friend, who's called me all the way from Japan. And we're going to tackle basically. He'll tell you what the topics are, but I'm just excited to be here. So thank you very much for the invite. I know it's something that planning, and today we just decided, you know what, let's do this, man.
Let's just do it. First of all, Maurice, thank you so much for the introduction. How are you coping with the quarantine and Corona?
Well, when it comes to quarantine, I'm not much of a clubber.
Yep.
I prefer more house gigs, more like house parties, the barbecue, the korogas, just a few intimate friends, and we just banter and stuff like that. So I'm not missing any clubbing or bar kind of hopping because I don't usually do that. So all this thing is something that I do normally. So nothing has changed other than the fact that we're just worried where this virus is going to take us as human beings.
Yeah. That's pretty much I'm doing. That's pretty much what I'm doing in Japan. Though I'm still working, I'm still going to work. I'm still working, even though Sorry.
How's that going? How's the whole Japanese frontier going? Japan,
they're trying. They began the lockdown and the closing of schools quite earlier on, like more than 4 weeks ago. And they have specific rules on how not to interact with people or to interact with people. They've been doing this for the last 4 weeks. So pretty much, even though I'm working and going to work, I feel I'm protected in a way, even though I meet people at work. So, yeah, pretty much. Anyways. Let's begin with we begin with erectile dysfunction. What is this all about? Basically, in just simple terms.
You say it's a product that just came out and it's in the local stores. Well, erectile dysfunction is when you find a man not able to either have an erection, or if he does have the erection, he cannot sustain the erection. This can come from many elements. Stress is one. Any problems or even the way he perceives his partner can be a factor to it. It can be a physical thing or a psychological thing. It just depends. It could also be based on his diet. It could be based on an ailment he has, maybe like high blood pressure. Cholesterol as well can affect your erectile issue. But now the thing is, all this stems from what are you eating? What are you consuming? And for how long have you consumed it? Because, like many years ago, when you could actually find organic foods, now organic foods have become expensive or have become not so accessible to a lot of people. So you need to invest to eat well. So a lot of people today eat a lot of fast foods, or what I would call shelf products that can stay for a very long time. And usually they have some effect because of all the entities and ingredients that are there to preserve that particular product. I mean, any product that can be in the shelf for quite a while has a preservative. That preservative, if you're taking it over time, will actually interfere with your male organs. So you might be able to actually have an erection, but you can't sustain it.
So basically, from your explanation, one of the main causes at the moment for many men is because of the food they are eating and the drinks.
Food, Okay, drinks can be blamed, yes, but
Yeah.
I don't see drinks being the main problem, because sometimes you find a man can be intoxicated and still have an erection, but when he's sober, he can't. So
Yeah.
clearly the drink takes him over and kind of lowers his inhibitions or whatever stresses he has. So it lowers his stress factor. I wouldn't blame drinks as such. I'm not saying that people should go out there and have as much drinks as they want, but I would blame a lot of foods. But stress is also there. Today, a very competitive world where people, instead of just living within their means, they're trying to outlive other people or outdo other people. So there's a stress factor that comes from the fact that you're trying to live beyond your means. That could cause a strain in the family. Maybe you're arguing with your partner, and just that can your perception of her being more of a sexually viable person to somebody who can actually give you erectile dysfunction, because your brain sequences and how you think about her has changed over time.
Yeah. Okay, and
so
then
those are the factors.
Those are the factors. Those are the reasons why men have erectile. But you mentioned something interesting about how the man perceives his woman can also affect him. What did you mean with that?
Yes. See, so erectile dysfunction does not always mean you have a condition that's going to be sorted out medically. Sometimes it's a perception you have. Assuming you've been with your partner, whether it's 6 months, 6 years, 30 years, it doesn't matter. It just depends on the kind of energy you normally have with your partner. If you and your partner are fond of argument, meaning there's always very negative energy in your surroundings, then you'll find that you probably won't suffer from erectile dysfunction anywhere else other than in your home. So you find, and that's why sometimes you find, like in my line of work, I get a lot of women who tell me, my husband is having a problem sustaining the erection. I call that erectile dysfunction, because the erectile should get an erection, and then he should basically be able to sustain it until that sexual episode ends. But in actual fact, what's happening is he's probably thinking of having sex with his wife, which means he's still sexually driven towards her. But if you find it's more of an obligation rather than a lustful need to have sex, then by the time he gets home and actually dresses, the undressing part gives him a different image of her. The minute he sees her, instead of thinking, this is a woman that I find sexually attractive, instead of doing that, he suddenly remembers all the things that are unresolved, or an argument they had yesterday or last week, because some of these things stay with us. So over time, if your perception of your partner changes, it's very hard for you to suddenly get turned on. But this is not just something that men suffer from. Even there are women who love their husbands, but sexually they're not driven because there's no lustfulness towards their courtship. And usually people rely on love to have sex, which is ridiculous, but that's another topic.
It's not about love.
Oh, no. The penis and the vagina do not respond to love. They respond to stimulus. If you give them the right stimulus, they will sustain the kind of stimulus they need for you to have pleasure. Without that, then it doesn't work. Only your conscious mind knows that you're dating or you're married or you're in love. But your penis and the vagina, they're organs that basically respond to stimulus because they have nerve centers that need to be stimulated.
Yes. All right.
Yeah.
Somebody's asking me a question. What foods, do you have any specific foods that the man can eat to keep this thing away?
Okay. I've been in this business for 18 years now, and when it comes to things like supplements, I'm a big supporter of supplements, though I've studied supplements for far longer than I've been a sex therapist. I'm a massive believer of supplements because supplements, number one, they're easily available, and it's not that there's no foods you can eat, but the problem with foods is this.
Yep.
The kind of amounts you're supposed to eat every day for you, for example, not to ever have erectile dysfunction is not practical. For example, just for the sake of, this particular interview, if I told you that a man could take watermelon, watermelon's actually very good. But the problem with watermelon is this: you're not going to juice it, or you're not going to take 3-4 slices and it's fine. You're probably going to have to eat 2-3 watermelons a day so that the sustainability of your sexual prowess stays. Now, is it practical to have 2-3 watermelons every day? No, it's not. So what I normally recommend are supplements. One that I know that's really, really good, and depending where you are in the world, like for example, I'm in Kenya now, so it's relevant for me to discuss it. And I actually have it here. It's actually called Power Man. Yeah, it's called Power Man Plus. Anyone who basically wants more information, yes, Power Man Plus. It's in capsule form, and it is herbal, and it is a supplement. There you go. I'm sure your viewers can see that. It's a supplement, and normally you take like about 2 capsules every single day and you're good to go. Now, the problem is a lot of people don't tend to understand what supplements are. They supplement what your day-to-day food cannot give you, hence why they're called supplements. We don't have a lot of natural foods that can give you the ingredients you need for you to sustain an erection today. Fact. Actually, a lot of things that men eat today will at some point slow down your metabolism. It used to be the age 40 that men were known to have erectile problems, but today I have clients who are as young as 22 who cannot have an erection, and it's based on a lot of things. Like for example, what I was saying, like a lot of people are eating what I would call fast foods, cheap foods, easily accessible foods, and they taste good, but sometimes things that really taste good are not very good for you. But what I'm trying to say is, like if you look at the African continent, just like Asia and South America, men used to take herbs every day. They didn't have them packaged like this. They didn't come in a capsule. You didn't find them in a health store. But men used to know what plants to go out to, or they had a herbalist who would then basically come up with a portion for the week or for the day, and they'll just take 1 glass and you're good. And that's why you find men back then used to have a lot of vigor. They could have 12, 18, 20, 30 children, no problem. But today, I'm finding guys who are even 20 who have a very low sperm count. So that's something to do with the food. So I don't want to recommend that if you take watermelon, or for example, celery is amazing. Like if you juice celery, you mix it with a bit of watermelon, because celery has its own distinct kind of taste. If you take celery as a smoothie every single day, you will actually help your sexual drive, your ability to have an erection. It won't minimize your erectile dysfunction forever, because by itself as an ingredient is not very useful. It's useful in terms of it will increase your semen count, but it's still good for things like your prostate health.
Right.
So what I normally recommend are supplements that are already in your stores that can actually help you. There's so many, but that's just one that I've recommended. But most people don't know the supplements are not medicine. So people will ask, for how long do I have to take the supplement?
Yes.
Well, you've been eating since you were born. So that is the answer.
So as forever,
even if you have, no, it's not about forever. It's if you have a car, it needs fuel.
Yes.
True?
Yeah, that's true.
And there's no point the car will not need fuel. So your body to perform, considering that's what, you see, if I just wanted to sit here every single day and not want to have sex, then I would not need any boost. I would not need any ingredient that channels the energy I need to be able to perform. But if you are sexual in nature, if you do actually have an active sexual life, then you should consider taking supplements that sustain that lifestyle.
So that you have the erection anytime you want it. and sustain.
The same way guys go to the pub and have their whiskey and vodka. Why? Because they want to feel different. They want to enjoy themselves. I mean, if you look at men, the amount of alcohol we drink doesn't help our erections. But when it comes to supplements, you find there are not that many men, especially in this continent, who even think that there is something they need to be able just to sustain. And the supplements I'm basically recommending are not like your Viagras. I'm not into anything synthetic.
Viagra.
Sorry?
Yeah, because there's sorry to cut you short. There's a question even about Viagra. Like, is it the same as Viagra, the supplement you're talking about?
No. Viagra is synthetic. Viagra was basically designed in a lab. And if you really look at the research for Viagra, it was supposed to be medicine ailment. And when they were doing their trials, they realized that Viagra can actually give men erections. Obviously, the capitalists of the world decided to take advantage of that. And that's why now you have Viagra sold to give you an erection. But really, it was supposed to be for your heart. So Viagra will hurt you. But natural supplements that are herbal-based, herbal means it comes from a plant. You might as well have just gone out to pluck some leaves, boil them, and drank it. But because we have no idea what trees we need to boil today, and the leaves, we could kill ourselves, they're actually specialists that know what type of plant type is good for us. And they've just made it easier. Now they've packaged it, and it's in a capsule form. So it's not medicine. It just supplements what day-to-day food cannot give you.
Okay. Thank you so much for that detailed explanation.
It's something I need to mention. Most products for men also help. The ingredients don't know gender. They just understand that they influence the neurochemicals in our brain.
So this supplement also a lady can take to boost her libido?
Not all supplements, but for example, this one can, because it's got an ingredient that affects both men and women the same way.
I saw
the ingredient does not or the vagina. It targets the part of the brain that stimulates neurochemicals that cause us to be able to want sex and crave sex.
Okay, thank you for that clarification. Somebody asked about masturbation. Can masturbation also lead to this problem?
No, that's my opinion. Strongly, I've been asked this question 1,000 times.
1,000 times. Yeah.
There is chronic masturbation.
Chronic masturbation.
This is somebody who can masturbate. It is somebody who can masturbate 20, 30, 40 times a day. So what happens is they'll have erectile dysfunction because, one, they overwork their organ. They overwork the stimulus center. They get tired. They hardly have any semen left. So they're draining the body. Now that could lead to erectile dysfunction. But the odds of how many men out there are actually having chronic masturbation are very rare. So if you're just a guy who masturbates a few times a week, that's not going to affect you at all.
Thank you. Okay, people are mentioning so many types of foods, but anyways, I want you to briefly talk about the women. I know most of them, they're your clients. When they come to you and they tell you that my man is facing this, if these women who are facing this problem are watching you now, what are the do's and the don'ts when their man cannot sustain erection?
Okay, good question. I think it's a social problem, especially depending on how you've been socialized. I think couples, which means basically the woman and the man, should be in a position to ask each other questions. I always find that a lot of women, and this is based on working with a lot of women, will tell me that, you know what, my husband cannot sustain an erection when he's in bed with me, but I think he sustains erection with other women. Now, I don't know where the I think comes from, whether it's true or not. She has no facts. It's more of her opinion. And I don't want to work with opinion. Let's work with facts. So as a man, I want the freedom to be able to tell my woman that I probably can't have an erection because of stress. If I really know there's stress in my life, maybe at work, at home, or there's something we shared, there's an exchange of words that really hurt me, and I've come to perceive her differently. So most of the time when I'm trying to have an erection, it's more to please her, not to please me. So now that's obligational sex. What I'm saying is we should be in a position where we can freely communicate instead of assuming. Because then what happens is a lot of men who buy, for example, the supplements I'm talking about, and they hide the supplement. So the wife has noticed, God, he can actually have an erection, he can sustain it. But wow, is it cooking? You know, is it the vodka he's taking? She has no idea. So she's trying to think, for me to be able to make sure my man can sustain his erection, what is it that I'm doing? And the thing is, the man cannot tell her that I suddenly bought X-Power Man Plus. He can't, because one, he's ashamed that he cannot perform naturally. And as a sexual scientist, that's absolute nuts. I mean, if you don't fuel your body, it's like a car, it will not function. The only natural procreational thing sexually men have is the fact that we can find the vagina, insert our penis in it, and ejaculate semen. If now that's sex, that's boring. If you're looking at recreational sex, a man should have that endurance, that prowess, that power. He should be able to give us stimulus that she can say, wow, taking off my clothes was worth it. So if you're talking about that kind of sex, then you need something to supplement what day-to-day food can't give you. That's just fact. So I think there should be more communication between men and women, rather than the assumptions that are there in the homes. It's very important. Even women sometimes lose their libido, and okay, the man won't instinctively think she's cheating, but he'll think, not attracted to me, have we been together for too long? Does she have another man? All these insecurities. So if we had just communication, if she told me, I think I'm never wet for you because of the way you treat me and the way you sometimes you shout at me like I'm a child. Now, if I'm a mature man, I'll understand that that's wrong, it's hurtful, and it can change her perception towards me. So communication is the key thing here, so that people can even discuss, can we change diets? Like, I'll tell you one thing. I, as a man, I've quit carbohydrates.
For example, which one did you quit? For example?
Sorry?
For example, which carbohydrate?
I quit chapati, basically wheats. I've quit them. I've quit chips. Why? Because I've noticed over time that they start to slow down your metabolism. And then when you eat them at funny hours, like when you have a really chunky meal at around 7 p.m. or 8 p.m., as Africans do, because Africans don't eat as early as Europeans, then you're supposed to have sex before you sleep. So maybe most people sleep at 10 or latest 11, because everybody has an early morning. So it's not practical that within an hour or two, your body will have digested that food. So what happens is because your metabolism is very low, even your digestion is suddenly very slower. And when the digestion process starts, the stomach, your abdomen starts to basically direct more blood flow to your stomach for the digestion. And until your bowel system is satisfied, your penis is not going to get adequate blood flow, not unless you're totally fit. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But even a guy who is in fitness would know that the chunks of the portions that most men eat, especially in Africa, let's look at Kenya. I mean, Kenya, are ridiculously high. So with a full belly, it's going to be pretty hard to actually have an erection. And if you do, sustaining it is going to be even harder. So I believe the answer to your question is more communication. It's important that couples start talking to one another. And the problem is with the cultures where couples don't talk about sex. They talk about bills and everything else, school fees, but they don't talk about their sexual health, which puzzles me because it's also a very important factor.
Yeah. But you find there are cases, I'm sure, ladies who will obviously attack. I've done this topic private, like on my shows, and ladies say
Right.
when a man loses an erection, it makes them feel really ugly or not more attractive, and then they tell the man both directly and indirectly.
Yeah, but when the man loses his erection, does the erection wipe off their makeup? No, it doesn't. So I know what you're saying, but that's my point. There's a logic to why he lost his erection. He did, and the thing is, men don't like losing erections. Let's just start there. I mean, you're a man like me. If you get an erection, you don't want to lose it. So clearly, that man was not looking forward to losing his erection. You know what I'm saying? So clearly, the woman should not think, "Oh my God, he's lost his erection, so I'm suddenly very ugly." No, you're not ugly. He first and foremost is suffering because now he has to live it up. Let me tell you, when a man loses his erection, he's thinking, "Oh my God, now she thinks I'm useless. I'm not a man," because every man is supposed to have this erection like Thor. I've never seen Thor's erection, so I'm just assuming. So the point is, men do not like losing their erection. And men should also have the duty to tell women how our bodies function. Sometimes we're not in control of our erection the way women think we are. Sometimes your penis can decide to bail on you.
Yep.
And there's nothing you can do about it. I think every man watching this understands exactly what I've said.
Yes.
You can be in the mood up here, logically, but your physical nature just refuses to work. So men don't penetrate vagina hoping to lose an erection. It just happens because of so many things. The same way women can say, "I was so horny when I was thinking about him, but the minute he penetrated me, I remembered I had to go to the salon, or I remembered the way we argued last week." So sometimes our psychology can change depending on the energy that we've enforced over time.
Yeah.
You usually won't find this problem with two people who have just met because they just want to like rabbits. But if you've shared so many clusters and so many ruins in your mind, then at some point, some of those things can now cause their erectile dysfunction and stuff like that.
Okay.
Very different from premature ejaculation.
Yeah, we move. Yeah, actually, now talking of premature ejaculation, you are moving on to that. Premature ejaculation. What are some of the nicknames of premature ejaculation that you know of? I know for
I
one.
Don't know about any nickname. I don't know what nickname you're talking about. Maybe I'm not getting you. Is there a nickname for premature ejaculation? What, like 2 minute man?
1 minute man.
That's a phrase. Okay. Those phrases: 1 minute man, 2 second man, blah blah blah. Yeah. Okay.
Man,
now, I'm going to give you two versions.
Yes.
One as a scientist and one as a man.
Scientist and as a man.
Yes, because my job is not to favor either women or men. My job is just to speak facts.
Okay. Thank you.
So now, let me tell you how this works. Our procreational design is the fact that we can penetrate a woman's vagina, and because we produce semen, we are meant to ejaculate it in her vagina. So when the 2 minute man, 2 second man enters a vagina, and then suddenly he's got that, "Oh my God, I think I'm coming" moment.
Yep.
Then that's our creational design. There is no flaw in that man. He's actually done what he was designed to do. Now imagine this. Imagine this. Imagine this. Imagine it was more procreational, where the woman was waiting for a man to ejaculate, and then the man is taking too long. Now that man who is supposed to be the alpha in the bedroom, he's taking too long, and the woman is thinking, "You're just humping away and you're not coming. Why? Because her psyche is procreational, not recreational. Now that is the science behind a man's function. There's nothing wrong with the 2 minute or 2 second guy. But now, let me talk as a man.
Yes.
A man who is in the social world just like any other man. We've moved from we've moved from procreational sex to recreational sex. Now there's a different version. This is not about our prowess of ejaculating semen like dispensers. This is now about our prowess in satisfying and pleasuring the woman long enough for her to actually have a stimulus that causes her to have a spasm that makes her orgasm. And at some point, I as well orgasm as I was designed to. Now that is recreational sex. So that's the difference. We are now in the social domain where sex has become recreational and stopped being procreational. And the truth of the matter is, when you want to have fun with a woman, you're not hoping to get her pregnant. It's just the processes of your semen and her egg that can get you in trouble, if you get what I mean.
Yeah.
So we forget that element and we move from procreational design of humans to a recreational thing where we want to enjoy and get a stimulus that at some point makes us climax. But then there's people who also like the journey more than the climax. So the 2-minute man now has to have prowess to be a sexual alpha. Hence why women can say, that guy is good in bed, that guy's 2 minutes. Good in bed means you are able to give her a stimulus that makes her go like, oh my God, I had an orgasm. I achieved an orgasm. You see? Whereas in my sessions with women, I make that a bit easier for the men. You train the woman's vagina to react a certain way so the man doesn't have to work so hard. Once a vagina is conditioned a certain way, then she can have those spasms anytime and with any man, rather than her saying there's only one guy who's ever gotten me there. But that's also another topic for another day.
So like there's this man here, Daniel is asking, so how can a man last longer?
A man can last longer. One, and I'm not kidding about this, it's important that he fuels his body. Okay, let me explain it in a very easy way. You know the way men say they went for 2 rounds, 3 rounds, 4 rounds?
Yes.
And some say the first round they ejaculate very fast, but they find themselves lasting longer in the second and third. Now, what I have done with my own research, this is not a universal research, is there are certain supplements that have certain ingredients that over time, when you take them, they change how you think in terms of your procreational nature is to enter a vagina and go like, oh my God, at some point I'm going to come, and then you come. So a lot of men tend to think of the climax rather than the journey. Hence why they end up being the 2-second, 2-minute man. But now you take supplements and then you also start changing your mindset and be a bit more beastly. You don't have to tell the woman what's happening in your brain, but it's how you're thinking. Men usually say, if I think of nasty things, then I won't come. No. If you think of nasty things, chances are you're going to lose your erection. So think of things that cause you to sustain your erection, but not necessarily trigger you to orgasm. And I've seen that happen with supplements that, yes, over a certain period, you'll still ejaculate pretty fast when you're in your first round. But you find you will no longer need a second or a third and fourth round because your second round can last long enough to be able to pleasure her. Women are not asking for 1 hour, 2 hour, 3 hour sex. They're just asking for stimulus that makes them think, wow, it was worth removing my clothes. Yes, I mean, 2 women sleeping together don't take 1 hour or 3 hours to stimulate each other. They do it pretty fast. But why? Because they uniquely learn each other's body. So even apart from taking supplements and changing your mindset as a man, men should also consider when you're in a sexual episode with a woman, why don't you learn how to utilize foreplay, which means you do not need to insert your penis at first and give her first orgasm even before you penetrate. Now that's power. All the men listening, that is power. When men ask, what gives you power as a man? What gives you power as a man is not your ability to penetrate a woman. Any man can do that. as long as he's
Yeah.
got a penis.
Mhm.
But if you can stimulate because the stimulus that causes her to orgasm, if you can go down on her and twirl your tongue magically and maybe use your well-equipped fingers with a bit of sensual touch, you can actually
Mhm.
cause a woman orgasm before you ever penetrate her. Do you think she's going to complain that you came after 5 minutes? No, because she's had her stimulus. And that's what it's about. I think men are suffering because everyone is trying to be Superman in the bed. Instead of moving her vagina, you're moving the bed.
Mhm.
You've heard those stories. A guy had sex with a woman, and when they finished the sex, the bed had moved. So I don't know if he's training to be a bed mover or whatever it is. But if you ask him, did she come? She says, no, I didn't come. So why the hell are you moving the bed?
he was really working hard.
Oh yeah, he was gymming on her. I mean, that guy could have lifted a bus, but he couldn't do anything to the vagina. I mean, that should say a lot.
Yeah. Maurice, you've mentioned something about stimulating, that the ladies also should learn on how to stimulate themselves to get them ready so that this 1 minute man can have an easier thing, an easier job.
Okay. Yes. What I was referring to is, like, for example, when I have a one-on-one session with a woman, I teach her how to basically condition her vagina. If you look at women in this continent, like, for example, parts of Uganda and Rwanda, who happen to be able to have a spasm that causes them to squirt, it has very little to do with the man. It has everything to do with the woman's ability. She starts to own. She's been coached. She understands her vaginal muscle and the way it's supposed to react. First and foremost, about 95% of women around the world, when they have sex, they crunch their vaginal muscle. Yet they're supposed to blossom like a flower. They're supposed to push it outwards. Now, the whole, in my thinking, the whole crunching came from feeling tighter and probably holding onto the penis so the man can enjoy, which is absolute bollocks, if you ask me. If you push your vagina outwards, first and foremost, all the stimulus centers become very soft and rugged and everything. And that causes now more sensation to your inner vagina. And as you do that, your vagina wall is actually massaging the man's girth, because that's what it's basically feeling. If you massage a man's girth, he's also going to feel very good. There's no such thing as a tight vagina during sex. And if there was, I wouldn't want to meet that vagina, because that's just scientific bollocks. So what I'm saying is, if a woman's vagina is conditioned to react a certain way, she can stem pleasures by very minimal seduction or stimulus. And that's how sex should be. There's this notion that, it's a man's responsibility to give a woman an orgasm. And that's not how I see it. It's not our responsibility to give a woman an orgasm, though it's our responsibility to learn how we could trigger an orgasm. But better yet, if you understand about vagina conditioning, why not condition a vagina over a period of, you could do it over a night, but I'm talking as me, I've done this for 18 years. So it's very different for a guy who's, novice and trying it now, but you can actually learn how to condition your woman's vagina. But uniquely, it's important she learns her own vagina. Any woman who understands and owns her own orgasm, whenever she has sex with her man, he's going to be thrilled because he won't have to work as hard to pleasure her, because her pleasure centers are there readily waiting for stimulus. Once they're stimulated, then she has a spasm. That spasm causes her to erupt, which we call an orgasm. Now, why would any man refuse that? Why do you want to move beds and achieve nothing?
Yes.
In my opinion, you're giving the bed an orgasm, not the woman. So, maybe you need to reconsider who you need to be sleeping with. So if you just learn how the vagina is conditioned, and especially if a woman starts learning herself, wow, magic starts to happen.
Yes. And that's I see people asking here that do you have live demonstrations in your sessions? Of course, I'm running the banner on the screen.
Unless I do have live sessions, but I have live sessions with clients who cannot access me one-on-one. But it's a live stream, but it's a private stream. It's not a public stream.
It's not a public stream. They can contact you and then arrange for that.
This is what I do for business. So Corona or not, it's business. So if you want to live stream, if you happen to be anywhere in the world and you want to learn something, then we can live stream. I can teach you so many things, but we'll live stream, but it's a private stream. It's not a public stream.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right. The other question that I wanted to ask you about this premature ejaculation. I have seen a question here that is it possible for a man to last for 30 minutes?
It's possible for a man to last for 2 hours without ejaculating.
2 hours?
Yes. There are men who last 2 hours. They just don't go around telling people.
Yeah. Okay.
But my point is this, and this is where men are failing. It's not about how long you last. It's about what have you done. Unless you're sleeping with yourself, we're talking about you trying to pleasure a woman. So the vagina has no idea that you've been inside it for 2-3 hours. However, if you give it as it needs, then she's going to have an orgasm. You get my point?
Sorry, could you repeat that? The network, I lost you there.
No problem. What I'm saying is, the vagina is not aware that a man is penetrating for 2 to 3 hours. But what the vagina responds to is stimulus. As long as you give the vagina stimulus that is necessary, then the woman will spasm. I mean, I have clients, female clients, who have never had an orgasm, but after 1 or 2 sessions with me, they start to have an orgasm with the same man who lasts 2 minutes. So she can still have pleasure within that 2 minutes. She needs to learn how to actually affect her inner vagina for her to be able to have an orgasm. So now I'm taking all the energy from the man and giving ownership to the woman. And the women who have come for my session today understand what I mean. Sometimes you won't get it until you actually have a session. Yeah. You won't get it until you heard somebody else trying to explain to you where they've come from. And that's because sometimes people over-sexualize sex. Like when you mention sex, everyone's like, ooh, sex. Ooh, my God, should we talk about it? No, sex is science.
Yeah.
Everyone shies away from sex because the minute they hear sex, they just think of 2 people who are naked. Yet sex is far more than that. You can have sex just by looking at each other and having some sexual energy. You can have sex through things like tantra, where you're hardly moving, but your penis is inside, but you're just enforcing energies. It's just a very slight movement, but you can enforce such energy that causes her to orgasm. Now, people should be learning more about that rather than trying to outperform somebody else. Because there are women who've come to me and told me, you know what, my guy can last for 2 hours, but my vagina gets stronger than anything else. So clearly that guy with his 2-hour performance has done nothing for her. And that's why I have to reference it again. Today, let's not be shy to talk about that. They're lesbians, but there's also a growing culture of bisexual women.
Yes.
And those bisexual women, at some point, depending on the pool of men they're engaging with, the minute they actually engage with a woman who knows what she's doing, her vagina is in places that she did not even know. I've met so many women who have basically told me that the first time I ever had an orgasm was with a woman. Yet she's dated twice.
Wow.
Yeah, and some of the guys had some penises that look like batons. But the point is, the vagina was not getting the stimulus that was necessary. So clearly, it's not really about how long or what kind of penis you have. It's about, are you understanding the regions of the vagina that needs to be stimulated, how that stimulus needs to come for a woman to be able to orgasm? If you do that, I've just come from a session in Mombasa, and I can tell you, I love feedback from men. When men tell me, wow, what I've learned, I wish I'd learned this a long time ago, because I used to work very hard, and just by affecting something you taught me that's so easy, he didn't have to sweat. Whereas before, he could sweat for like an hour, and the woman would just be there, okay, I'm enjoying it, but I've not come yet. So clearly it's not about the hour. It's not about you overperforming and sounding like a gorilla. Then your neighbors think you're fucking yourself because they can't hear the girl doing any moaning. Then clearly it's about learning the stimulus center of a woman. Once you learn that, then a lot of these sexual pressures will just vaporize.
Mm-hmm. All right. So in your discussion, in the way you're putting it, ladies really, really need to learn on how to stimulate themselves. But a lady who is watching you, I see you're saying that until they attend some of your sessions to learn this skill, what for somebody who's watching you now, for a lady, what are some of the basic things she can do to begin the journey of learning her vagina and stimulating or getting the stimulus? Any basic thing that she can do?
When you say she can do, as in like to herself, like something she can do towards, well, one, she needs to be a bit more liberal with being able to touch herself.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the one thing that we tend not to encourage women to do as men is touch themselves. Yet men have touched themselves all the time. Most men in the world know their penis pretty well. Mm-hmm. True or not?
Very true.
When we hear that a woman is touching herself, then we're like, hold on, why is she touching herself? And I'm there. Yes, you're there, but you're there to do what?
Mm-hmm.
And that just tells me that men are thinking with their penis rather than with their brain. Mm-hmm. Sometimes to understand, you need to start thinking with your brain, not with your penis. Because we already know what your penis can do. It can oddly find the vagina, penetrate it, and come. But if she's not come, then what was the point of the sexual episode, is my question. So what I believe is, first, some material. If you go to my blog, which is mauricetherapy.com, and you go to the search and you for how to make a woman squirt, just read that article. Try what I've actually said you should do. And it's not about whether you fail or whether you succeed. First, you are engaging with yourself. You are self-exploring. You're getting to understand yourself as a woman. You're getting to accept that your body is a temple of so many pleasures that are just untapped. If you begin that journey, at some point, you'll start to actually enjoy sex with a man even better. I mean, it's scientific proof that women who masturbate at least 3-4 times a week will always enjoy sex more than those who don't. That's just fact. Why? Because the vagina is a muscle. You go to the gym, you get stronger. You stimulate the vaginal muscle, and it then starts. You see, how it works is the vagina is stimulated, and the brain receives the pleasures that you're getting, the stimulus you're getting, whether that stimulus is positive or negative. After it's like when a woman says, "I've never come." How does she know? How does she know at some point she had an orgasm? Because it's triggered. It's a feeling. It's a spasm. She now knows, whoa, and then now the brain knows that, wow, this actually happens. Before that happens, you'll never know. So first you need to understand your physical, then it gets in touch with your mental. Mental is more of a storage place. It's a memory center. That's why you can benchmark and know which guy gave you the best orgasm or the best sex. Your brain knows that. But that knowledge came from your vagina.
I think I lost Maurice. Oh, I lost you.
I'm here.
Okay, yeah. Okay. All right, people are complaining about the English, but don't mind that. It's okay.
Which English?
They do. I think they're trying to understand what you're saying, but I know that's a joke. Just forget about that.
All right.
Yeah,
because I'm actually speaking English.
Yes. So anyway, Maurice, I think that marks this. Sorry?
I don't think this is Japanese, so we're good.
It's English, of course. I will have about 5 minutes of some specific questions here. Like this question here by Unifa.
Yes.
Sorry to ask this. So do you think who should lead most during intercourse? Who should start?
In any relationship on earth, there'll always be a dom, there'll always be a sub. That dom could be the female or the male, the sub could be female or male. So it's never about whether it's a man's duty or not. There will always be one person in the relationship who is more dominant than the other. There'll always be one person who likes sex more than the other. It's fact. They'll never be equal. I know we romanticize things and, oh my God, we love sex the same. No. There'll always be one person who happens to love or crave it. It could be a psychological thing. It could be they produce more neurochemicals than the other partner. It's something we can't gauge, but it's not important, because what's important is the two of you find each other sexually attractive, which really has nothing to do with love. It has everything to do with sexual friendship. I find a lot of people struggle. They don't have sexual friendship. They just have love. Love is basically a psychological notion of attachment. It's about how I feel about you. It's about how I care about you. It's about the fact that we live in the same house and I like putting a roof under your head, over your head and stuff like that. But sexual friendship, a lustful nature is what is it's some of the ingredients that I always find a lot of couples lack. So when it comes to initiation, it can either be the man or the woman.
Okay,
it's like what people say. It's not the man's duty to always initiate. One will always be stronger than the other.
Yes. All right. There's one more question here by Judy Sakala. Are the potential lovers intimidated by your sessions? Like, how do you deal with that? Like, if I'm bringing my wife to you, how will I deal with that?
I just came from a session in Mombasa where I was dealing with a man and woman. If I intimidate you, to be honest, I think that's more of your problem than mine. I'm giving a service. I'll help those who want to be helped. It's like if I want to skydive, but I don't like heights and I don't want to get on a plane, then clearly my ambition will never be met. So if you've come across my work and you like my work and you believe in my work, and maybe you got a referral, but now you're thinking, how can I take my wife to Matheka? Well, you're not taking your wife to Matheka so that we can have a gangbang or an orgy. You're taking your wife to Matheka so the two of you can learn how to apply sexuality better. So number one, as the man, you can learn how to give her more orgasms, because that's what you want to achieve as a man. And as a woman, she learns how to own her orgasm, which means your sex together becomes better. So I can't really control your reasoning towards me. If you've got your own internal inhibitions or insecurities, I can't really help. I'm not there to beg you to come to me, but I will help you. And I've helped many couples, but I've only helped couples who are liberal enough to be able to contact me. And you know what? I'm good at what I do. I just need dedication from the couple as well, because there's a few practices that I tell couples to do. Like that couple that I just met, like many other couples and individuals that I've met, I always give them a program which will last anywhere up to 6 weeks to 12 weeks, depending on the context of your relationship. I'll give you a program that you're supposed to follow, because I need a few routines that you were practicing before to be eliminated, and you invite new routines into your sexual life.
Yeah. All right. And for more information, if they really know this, they can contact you on your handles running on the screen.
On Twitter, Maurice Therapy. On IG, it's Maurice Matheka. Facebook, I've got a page, Maurice Matheka Macau, Maurice Matheka. You can just Google me, you'll find my handles. And I'm very easygoing, very accessible. Just my number, you can always basically just WhatsApp me and we'll start chatting. Just let me know who you are. But one thing I really don't like is I don't like people who WhatsApp me and then they don't tell me who they are. I think it's funny that people have forgotten how to introduce themselves. Just tell me, hey, my name is so-and-so, and I heard you on this show on blah, 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 and this issue, and, Bob's your uncle, I will help, because my passion is helping people.
And how long have you been doing this, Maurice, if I may ask you?
18 years, man. I'm a veteran.
18 years.
But I'm not retiring. 18 years.
Yes. All right.
18 years dealing with vaginas. I was not good at probably be like a plumber tomorrow.
Yes. There is a question here about, we will talk about squatting. This topic is not about squatting. See, a man is asking here, how can you make a woman squat?
We shall discuss squatting. We will have another show and discuss squatting.
Okay.
But I'm glad
so
your
much.
audience is talking about squatting. That's very progressive. So whoever
Yes.
mentions squatting, hey, we can be pals.
This is actually a man. A man is saying, Matheka, talk about squatting and how to make this happen for every woman. Practical skills for every man. And make it quick and fast.
I like the fact that he brought this up, but we will dedicate a show to squatting.
Yes.
And bodily stimulus, definitely. That'll be.
One last question. Do you get it with some of the clients?
Do I get tempted?
Yes.
Well, no. Instead of saying yes or no,
Yeah.
it's as simple as this. If I did, tempted means you're doing something.
Yes.
Because we were not discussing if it's just a thought.
Mm-hmm.
I value my work and I've done it for a very long time. So why don't I get tempted if you're in my house? Or if we're having a drink? Why should I get tempted when we're having a session?
Yep.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Yes.
What is it? You don't shit where you live or something? I can't remember what the saying is, but it's sexuality and I teach it. And I like where that person asking that question is coming from. They're coming from, well, it's sex. So, sex means you need to perform. But there's a time and place to do everything.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
That makes a lot. Yeah. The person who asked that question and anyone who is asking that specific question, I hope it makes sense. This is your job. You're a professional and you know what you're doing.
But I know where that question came because, like my friends usually tell me they can never do my job because they would be jobless tomorrow because they would be less professional than professional. You know how men can be. But yeah, I understand. Most men can't be because they can't see a vagina and just teach a woman what she needs to learn and she goes home.
Mm-hmm.
They'll want to pursue her and so many other things, which are not what she is paying you for.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, sure.
Yes, and
pretty much.
That's why I've survived. You need to be able to separate your personal life and your professional life.
Mm-hmm.
So if we have a question, that's my professional life. Okay. That's what I know. I know vaginas and penises the way, a really classified butcher knows his meat.
Yes.
Probably not the best analogy, but you know what I'm saying.
Thank you, Maurice. That marks the end of this discussion. And any other question that you would like to get, follow Matheka. I'm going to run the contacts here again on the screen. Let me see. All the viewers you can see on the screen right now, get Maurice Matheka on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and his website for any other more information and knowledge that you'd like as a couple, as a man, as a woman. Just do it. Thank you, Maurice. Thank you so much, bro.
No. Thank you very much for inviting me. I like the fact that you had this idea and you approached me and I said, hey, let's do this, man. Look, if we can actually make other people relationships better and their sexual lives better, why not?
Yeah. I like that.
Because information is power. Which you're a bit more powerful. If you've got skill, you're a bit more powerful.
Yep. Thank you so much.
Benjamin, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
The audience for tuning in. And everybody else, cheers, man.
Cheers, man. We'll talk again. We'll talk soon.
We will, definitely.
Goodbye and good night. Enjoy your night.
All right, you too, man. Keep safe. Keep safe, man.
You too. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.
All right.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that marks the end of this session. Thank you so much for keeping me company together with Maurice.
To you.
And you can also follow me on my Facebook account. As you can see on the screen, Instagram, Benjamin_Bogonko. Subscribe to my YouTube channel with the name Benjamin Bogonko, together with a Cash App if you'd like to support me in any way possible, especially for my friends who live in the US. Good day. Enjoy the rest of your day or your night. Bye-bye.
Certified Home presents to you Sukari Heights, developed by Certified Homes, is magnificently designed, luxurious, and executive residence offering world-class lifestyle. Starting from Kenya shillings 2.7 million, Sukari Heights is located in the most exclusive Kahawa Sukari neighborhood, just 15 minutes drive from Nairobi CBD and 20 minutes drive to JKIA. The location of these homes avails a short commute to work using an easy transport network, a large choice of dining and entertainment options. Designed to be the finest expression of world-class finishes, Sukari Heights is a rare opportunity to reside in one of the most exclusive addresses in Nairobi. As a resident, you will have access to lifestyle amenities including shopping center, gym, spa, eateries, and basement parking, suitable for family living as well as investment. As an investor, you will enjoy good returns on investment and owning to recurring rental income, property appreciation leading to higher resale value. For further information, call 0711 128 128. You can also catch us at www.certifiedhomes.co.ke.